I mean, really devastating. And I grieved it on my own before I ever said it to anyone else.
There's a lot of people like yourself that were actually dealing with, your grandma's Alzheimer's and having to try to escape reality.
I didn't know where I was, who was around, like everything's fuzzy. What I know is what I was told.
Welcome to the Rain from Within show, where we share wins and wars, amazing stories of people turning scars into strength, one-on-one interviews with just real people that I think a lot of y'all can relate to. Today is Brandee, and her story is about waking up. She spent years in survival mode, navigating COVID, delayed wedding, a hurricane, multiple moves, finishing school, working nonstop, while telling herself she was fine. On the outside, life looked stable. On the inside, she was running on autopilot and slowly disconnecting from herself. In this episode, we talk about using substances to escape reality, rebuilding her relationship with her body through movement, finding strength during a low point, and what it looks like to choose sobriety, discipline, and self respect one day at a time. This isn't a story about having it all figured out. It's about honesty, boundaries, and choosing yourself after years of putting everything else first. If you're enjoying these conversations, make sure to subscribe and like the episode. If you know someone who should be on the show, or you feel called to share your own story, head to strength.com/athlete to learn more. Drop a comment of your biggest takeaway of Brandee. I really resonate with her story. We've all had instances of vices and things that, are really dictating our life. So I think you guys will really appreciate this conversation. All right. Enjoy the show. Right. Brandee Phillips, super grateful to have you here. So you've been with the Team Strength for how long now? A little over.
Almost a year.
Yeah, let's go. Well, we're going to take you back maybe like 5-6 years to start out. When you look back at 2020, how would you describe the version of yourself that was trying to survive?
Autopilot. But it was a year of survival. Like, obviously, COVID affected everyone. I was planning a wedding got delayed, wedding happened, hurricane destroyed the city we were living in, moved 3 states, 3 states over, and yeah, it was survival. I was still in school. I was working 2 jobs. It's a blur. I think back and I'm like, "How did I make it?"
Yeah, 100%. And, a lot of people, just because it was COVID, that stage was kind of like numbed for a lot of people. You mentioned the delayed wedding, hurricane, moving states. You were working 2 other jobs and you were finishing school all at once. So when did you first realize that you were running on autopilot?
Um, Maybe 2021, things kinda calmed down. I, like, got what I thought was my dream job,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Okay, things are gonna calm down, it's gonna get better," and it just in the back of my mind, I was like, "It's not better, like, something's wrong."
Yeah,
Um,
got you.
that kinda just yeah.
And we've talked about this before the pod. You were kind of like, I think a lot of people are in that mindset where they're chasing that next thing, right? It's like, what is the next thing that I'm chasing? So in that regard, what did that teach you when you thought you landed that dream job, but you still felt a little bit unhappy? What did you learn from that?
To try to trust myself, really, and it
Yeah.
was supposed to be my dream job, and at first I kinda, like, gaslit myself into, like, it's okay, it's my dream job." Like, it was my first, like, corporate-ish, it was still a small company,
Mhm.
but I was like, this is how it is, like, my first real big girl job." Um, you just kinda like, you deal with it, this is the real world, and it doesn't have to be that way.
For sure. So you talked a little bit with me about, THC, and kind of trying to escape a bit. Do you smoke and or like kind of like can you tell me a little bit about that for how you've
Yes.
maneuvered that lifestyle? Because I've been there too. I've totally been
Yeah,
there.
yeah. 2022, I think, is really when I started. My grandmother's Alzheimer's. I always say that word incorrectly.
It's a hard
It
word.
progressed really, really quickly. It's typically like a slower disease.
Mhm.
I have heard people like struggle, like suffer from it for like 10 plus years. Hers was really, really quick. So I started taking gummies like for fun. And then I was like, wait, if I'm high, I don't have to think about anything going on. Like my job sucks. My
Right.
grandmother's sick. She's struggling. I can just like get high, eat all this food, watch TV, pass out, and then get up and do it again. Um, so it was just like a really what I thought was a great escape.
I totally hear you. Yes, I remember especially that period, it was like 2020 to 2022, the pandemic and such. I remember that quarantine period that I had for like that well, we all had for like 6 months, whatever, we basically couldn't leave your crib. My buddy and I, we would smoke every single day out of a gravity bong. And I don't say all this like I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying, hey, go take a milk carton, pop a hole in it, and go crazy in the bathroom. I'm saying it was so degenerate looking back. It was a crazy time. And like we'd make a pizza, we'd go hiking, and it felt like it didn't matter what else was going on because we were actually pretty bored. But there's a lot of people like yourself that were actually dealing with, your grandma's Alzheimer's and having to try to escape reality of, well, it was just a very weird time. We were all isolated, we are able to see each other. And then, yes, when there's things going on that you're trying to escape from, and like weed, it makes you happy and detached from anything when I think we don't necessarily deserve it. You know what I mean? Like it's reality distortion, it's escapism, and I'm really glad that you recognize that and you've been able to kind of like when you look back, what do you think you were what were you most afraid of in that season if that makes any sense? Like what was like the biggest um pros of that escapism that you were doing? What were you searching for?
The not having the responsibility. I am very much someone that, like, I feel responsible for everything, even down to, like, going out with friends. I wanna make sure everyone's having a good time. I feel like I have to fix everything. So, it's like, I don't have to think about it. My brain doesn't have to be in overdrive. If I'm
Mhm.
high, like, it doesn't matter
Right.
because I.
You actually mentioned to me before the call that one time your friend, like, you missed a friend's birthday party because you wanted to get high, right? What was that
Yeah,
like?
I did. Well, I mean, I obviously lied to her. I told her I forgot. How do you forget your friend's birthday party? Like, you don't. Um, but no, I didn't go because I was like, if I go, I can't. And I felt like I was responsible when I got high. Like, I made sure I was at
Mhm.
home. I wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, if I go to this party, I can't get high, and I'm gonna get high. So I lied to her, told her I forgot, and I didn't go. And then the next day, maybe a couple days later, I was like, wait, I don't want to be that person. That's not
Mhm.
okay to like be the flaky friend quite literally because I wanted to get high. No, that's not okay.
Yeah. I hear you. So in 2024, that was kind of when the shift started where you tried fixing a lot of things one layer at a time. So the job, school, lifestyle. Um, where did you feel like you were the unhappiest? Or when did you realize, I guess it was 2024, but like, was there any like specific moment besides this birthday party where you were like, dude, I gotta just make a 180. I gotta really lock in on killing these vices.
It was in layers really. So like missed the birthday party and I cut back a lot on the gummies. I didn't quit cold turkey, but I cut back a lot. And by 2024, I was done with it.
Mhm.
Um, and I was a couple of years before diagnosed with like anxiety, depression. So I was medicated for that.
Mhm.
But obviously like not taking the medication properly. 2024, no gummies, um no gummies, taking the medicine like I should have been taking it. I was like, okay, things are gonna get better. And then just had a whirlwind of a few months at work, and I was like, "This is not okay, like, I have to get this out of my life." Um, so quit my job, went back to school, and it was summer of 2024. I was like, okay, I've made all these changes. Like, there's something still wrong.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, like, I think it's my marriage. um, yeah,
Right. So you
yeah.
mentioned 12 years, right? You were married for 12 years and then you asked for a divorce?
We were together 12 years, and then of that, married 5.
Got you, got
So,
you.
but I mean, 12 years, that's a long time. And we lived together
Okay.
11 and a half of those years. So, yeah, it
Wow.
was, yeah.
So what was that like? Can you walk me through that season?
It kinda was in the back of my head for a while, and then I, like, admitted it to myself. Um, that was I was by myself, cried, sobbed, I was like, "There's no way this is real. This is the most, like, constant person other than my grandparents in my life. Like, there's
Mhm.
no way that" like, coming to terms with, "If this is what I want, this person won't be in my life anymore." Um, and it was, I mean, really devastating, and I grieved it on my own before I ever said it to anyone else. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a huge, like, burden to carry and or, like, to do that alone. So
Yeah.
and then that was still maybe, a year or so before you found strength. But then, you went through that, you started, walking, exercising, and you started to dial in on the fitness, right? That was kinda like the outlet that you got to use.
Yes, yeah. First, it was to get out of the house. I was like, I can't be in the house." Um, I gained a lot of weight. I've always turned to food for things like comfort food, and then it gets out of hand real quick.
Yeah.
um, but I started exercising, yeah, to get out of the house, and then I fell asleep. I saw an ad on TikTok.
Yeah, was it like hoping this lands on a gym rat's fight? Probably something like that. Oh,
Yeah, it
the
was like
video?
an ambassador sign-up thing, and I
Yep.
really didn't know what it was. I feel like I was signing up for just random stuff on TikTok. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a content creator." No.
Isn't that funny? Some people like most people, they have no idea, kind of like it's like a rabbit hole, like you see a TikTok ad and then you're like, wait a minute, there's a whole ecosystem going on here. There's an app, there's training, which you've killed it at, by the way. And there's, the subs, the book, the podcast now. I feel very confident with what we're doing, especially with having people like yourself, Brandy, representing it that have turned scars to strength. So when you moved out and then you might have been when were you like did you have a season where you were kinda like drifting away from the gym then too?
Yes, so I moved out of my husband's house,
Yep.
in June of 2025, so we're, like, coming up on a year. Um, I really stopped going to the gym. I was hanging out with my one of my best friends, all the time. We became very codependent on each other. We were going out all the time. I was drunk probably every weekend, summer 2025. And I didn't go to the gym. I just let it go. And then had some, like, what could have been bad situations
Mhm.
that was kind of a wake up call. It was like, okay, you're gonna not drink right now.
Yep.
Um, and I got back in the gym. So
Yeah, walk me through that. You had one of the nights mentioned your weekend out drinking, it was a turning point. What happened?
there were actually 2, and looking back, the fact that the first one wasn't the wake up call is concerning.
Mhm.
Um, but I drank so much, I didn't know where I was. What had happened was convinced someone, like, put something in my drink because I was like, "I can drink a lot. I'm not affected this way." I was not passed out on the sidewalk in New York, but I didn't know where I was, who was around, like, everything's fuzzy. What I know is what I was told. And there were literally this group of girls, strangers, that saw me, got my phone, called my friends. They told my friends where I was, and my friends came and got me, and that could've been bad. Like, the wrong person could have found me. Um, so, yeah, that was scary. Like I said, I was
Yeah.
convinced somebody put something in my drink. I was like, I don't drink that much. It's fine." But it happened again a month later. Um, I was at the club and then I was on my couch in my apartment, and that's
Ugh.
not okay.
No, that's really
It's not
scary.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that could definitely have happened. I've never personally, like, knock on wood, had to experience that, but I remember my cousin one time I was out and we barely drank anything, and then he had a drink. He had like one drink and he was like just gone. We had to call him a Uber really quick because it didn't make any sense. So it definitely could have happened, and or maybe it's just your body telling you like, hey, it's reality check. We need let's ring it in here. So what finally helped you realize that you belong with strength, if you don't mind me plugging the brand quick? What have you, like, enjoyed the most since joining the community? Do you feel like you've gotten some good accountability by, just being around better people?
Absolutely. Yes. I really like there no group of strangers is more supportive than this community is what I've found.
No.
When I first joined, I wasn't like super active in the chat and like trying to meet new people and like make friends. Um, but I am now, and I'm like really locked in. I want to be supportive of them. They're supportive of me. It's great.
Let's go. Yeah, you do a really good job being active on the app, I will say. Because, like, yesterday, for example, I needed something from you, and you responded like that. I saw you were active like 22 minutes ago. I'm like, yo, I'm reaching out. Boom,
Yeah.
she got back to me. So I appreciate you tuning in and taking advantage of the resources. So you're 18 days alcohol free right now. You mentioned to me before the call. What have you noticed about yourself in this time? How's it been going? How's it
More
been feeling?
clarity.
More
Um,
clarity.
my friend and I, we try to get together like every couple of weeks, and it was like alcohol related, and now it's not. I'm not drinking right now. Um, and to just have like real conversations with her, and it everything hits different on a sober brain. I don't
Mm,
know how to explain it. It just
yeah,
it's more intentional. It means more
I totally
relationship
agree.
conversations. Like it's better.
Well, when I was first trying to get sober, because we all have that college experience. A lot of people do, and I did for sure. And I was dragged into it, and it was at first, 50 to 100 days. That was so difficult, right? It was like, oh my gosh, like I'm missing out. I'm getting FOMO, the FOMO. But then we changed it. Instead of FOMO, we get FONS. So FOMO is fear of missing out. FONS is fear of not succeeding. And so the pain of the regret became worse than the pain of the discipline. So I chose the discipline path, which I think you're choosing right now as well, which is amazing. And being sober is a superpower, right? It really does allow you to build connections a lot easier. Your clarity, as you mentioned, you feel better. It's a lot easier to keep weight off and or lose weight because, when we're drinking alcohol, these extra sugars and such with the mixed drinks makes it a lot harder to, you know, get rid of the pudge. But yes, that's amazing. And never forget you got the whole strength community to lean on. If you ever feeling like, yo, like I'm feeling like getting that FOMO, or I wanna like, have a crazy bender. It's like, hey, we're not perfect, right? We're not saying you don't have to do that, but for your lifestyle and all the changes that you've made so far, which has been amazing since we've gotten to meet already in the past year, I think you're definitely on the right path. And I want you to this final question for you, Brandy. What would you tell the younger version of yourself, maybe the 2021, 2022 version of yourself? If you saw her across the room right now, what would you say to her?
You are the only person that's going to show up for yourself. Start now. Don't
Mm,
wait. Show up for yourself now.
show up. Yes, let's go. Where can they find you on socials?
It's Brandee.P.
Too easy. Let's go.
All socials.
Are you doing the 28 arc challenge right now?
I'm trying.
I think I've seen you
I've
post in
done
there,
this
right?
one probably 10 times.
Hey, it's all good. You definitely keep doing that. You're doing great and leading to that accountability, because the reason we have it is 28 days is because, it takes like 21 days to make it happen. You're at 18 already with no alcohol. Dude, you're going to be there. Like you're probably not even feeling the itch, right? Like you're feeling good.
Yeah. I like to go out, I like to dance and have fun, but I'm not doing that because I'm like, I'm not even gonna put myself in that temptation of, like, I need a drink. Like,
Yeah,
you go out, you have that, like it's the muscle memory of you need the drink to
so
socialize,
true.
and yeah,
Yeah, and it's like changing that with how much you have is like the biggest thing too. Because I'm like you as well, where I like to have something in my hand. What I used to do in college, I was a vodka Red Bull guy. That's all I would do, just pound them. I did the Four Locos. We've done the beer route. I just try to do tequila, like just one drink of tequila, tequila lime with soda and or just water, which doesn't taste the best, but that's another hack is if you're going out and you don't wanna drink for you, Brandy, and for the viewers, is just get soda water. Dude, nobody knows. It looks like it's fizz. Like, no one's gonna know it's just water, and you wake up with no hangover and you feel amazing.
that's the thing, the hangover, so many ways to days.
That's the biggest reason why I just choose not to drink when I can now, because the productivity, dude, oh my gosh, the Sunday scaries, that's a real thing.
It is, yeah.
Get the shakes. But, yeah, Brandy, I'm so grateful you got to come on. Super proud of your progress. So let's keep crushing it. Guys, if you found value, make sure you like, subscribe, check out Brandy on her socials, and tune into the next one. We'll see ya.